So we're working today on putting a new, well, it's not new, it's a used Sena unit on a LS2 strobe tube. My wife got this helmet for Christmas, so we're going to put her Sena unit on it so that she can talk while we're on rides. It's real simple. There's one piece that you're going to slide kind of in behind kind of the slide. This is a full modular, so a little bit different, but not a whole lot. So you slide that up in, and you take the actual Sena unit itself and get it to clip in how you want it. There are notches, so there's only one way for it really to fit. So it's going to sit kind of like that. And then if you take the helmet and you flip it over, you got two Allen that go in, and they go in the top holes of the unit itself. So there's the first one. I'm going to kind of get them started a little bit so that it will hold itself. And I can use both hands to kind of position it where we want it for the final setting. So there's the first one. The second one is literally right beside it. So it goes in right there. Same thing, 5/32 Allen. Goes in, kind of get it started. And then you're just going to tighten it up, and it's going to pinch onto the side of the helmet. Now make sure when you're tightening that you keep it in the position that you, of course, want it in. You don't want to tighten it down and not want it in the place that you've got it. So just keep kind of working at it, tightening it down each time you turn it. Gets a little tighter. And on this one, because it's a modular, you've got to make sure that you don't affect any of the buttons that you push to activate any of the modular stuff. That's why I chose kind of the spot that I did to do this one. So you can hear it getting, pretty tight. There we are with the rough one. We'll tighten it up a little more once we get all the wires running and everything to the final spots. But basically, you're going to have 3 wires. The one that is unhooked is your speaker wire, or not your speaker wire, your microphone wire, and you're going to run it kind of to the front of the helmet, so you can see it right there is going to run up towards the front. And then your shorter wire is going to run to your speaker, or it is your speaker, so you can see your speaker right there. And you're going to take it and kind of slide it into the pocket that it sits kind of in and behind. So I don't know if you can see in there or not, but it's in this pocket right here, kind of back in behind it. And there's a nice little hole for it to really sit in, and then you can hide your wires kind of in that little gap right there as it runs back towards the back of the helmet. The other one you're going to run kind of the exact same way. It's longer, so it's going to run over to the other side, And I like to get the wires up kind of into the helmet. So this strobe 2 has a feed kind of behind. If you look right kind of along the back of the helmet and get it up into the helmet, which then it's going to slide up in the same way the other one did. Like I said, once you kind of get all your wires in, then you can come back and really kind of tuck them in tight to where they go. But the same thing with this one, it sits down in this pocket. You want to make sure that the microphone, or that the speaker, is facing the ear as it goes in. So this helmet, like I said, has a little cutout hole for it, and it goes in behind the cheek piece. So then you've got just this extra wire here that you can tuck up in, kind of hide it. So it's all hidden right over there. You'll never see it. And like I said, this will then be all tucked up underneath this plastic. Kind of tucked up under there. But then, like I said, this one, that is your speaker, or not your speaker, your microphone, is going to go towards the front of the helmet. So it runs opposite kind of the other two wires that you've got. And it's going to run right along the side there. And you're going to get it to where it sneaks in behind and is tucked up under all of that. Same with these back speaker wires. I'm going to tuck those up into the plastic of the helmet. You can take out the cheek pieces if you need to, but I find it pretty easy, pretty simple to do it with them in there. So that one's all tucked up in. Working on this other side. And the back is always the kind of the hardest spot to get them in, because it's pretty tight back in the back of it. So, but once you get it started, it kind of folds itself up in there pretty nice, and you can get it all hidden away so that you don't have wires kind of hanging all over the place, because that's the last thing you want for the big wires, you know, poking out and hanging out. And you can take a screwdriver and poke these in. You just want to be careful not to poke a hole in any of those wires, because then you're going to get a speaker that shorts out. So there's those all tucked away, all up in. Now you're going to go to the front, and as you see, like I said, this is a modular, so I flipped it open. And you've got to put the microphone in. So what I like to do is I like to take my microphone, and as we see, here's our little connection, and you get it connected, and then you can take all of this extra, because this is Velcro, and you're going to stick it as far back into that cheek piece as you can. And while you're doing it, you're going to take your wires and stick those up in there. So then, really, the further back in you can get this, the better off you're going to be. You know, so that one's in pretty good. I mean, if you look, that's it's going to be kind of the optimum spot for it. And you've got it all nicely neat and tucked away. So as you can see, that took about 10 minutes to get it installed. Wires are hidden. Going to go back in and tighten it down one more time, make sure it doesn't move, because that's definitely what you don't want. You don't want it to move as you're riding down the highway or interstate.